Good morning. It is Wednesday, July the 3rd. Here's what we're working on. Hamilton police have now identified the man killed in a weekend shooting after a party at a short-term rental.
Niagara police continue to investigate what appears to be a violent weekend at Sherkston Shores.
And the Toronto Blue Jays, they're back in the win column. It wasn't easy, though. Okay, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Brian, you have no tie today.
I have no tie today.
Normally it's a Friday, right? Does this mean this is your Friday?
No, it could be because maybe it's July and it's summer.
Okay.
And it's going to be hot, well, pretty hot today.
Yes.
And it's going to be sticky and humid. And I thought, why lace up the neck and choke myself.
I say that every day, Brian. I also don't know how to do a tie-up, so I'm going to admit that right now on television. That is somebody who is on TV. I struggle to tie my own ties. Yeah, so there's my secret shame, everybody. 6 a.m. I'm getting it out of the way early. There you go. There it is. Can't tie a tie. There it is.
Okay. Well, we'll show you how to do that. That's an easy thing to do.
I think a lot of people don't know how to tie ties.
Yeah, especially like the millennial generation. And then I'm with Brian. Like if I did this top button, it'd be a tight shirt. So we're good. I'm inspired by Brian today.
Yeah, we don't need to choke ourselves first thing in the morning here. All right. Yeah, we're looking at some heat building in for the day today and some humidity as well. We're looking at a 29-degree high today. But then you factor in the humidity. It's going to feel like 37 today. So, and the same thing for tomorrow. And actually, pretty much the same scenario for tomorrow. We'll start off with some sun. And then we'll see a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm as the day progresses. But yeah, getting fairly warm. Tomorrow, 29, humidex maybe just a little bit less. But we're 19 degrees to start the morning here, and it's fairly hazy sky, as you can see on that particular shot. So we'll talk about the forecast coming up. Quick check on traffic this morning. 6:02, not much going on. 403 Waterdown Road looks good. Busier, obviously, Toronto bound, but otherwise looking good. QEW at Millen Road, Stony Creek, very light volume so far this morning. Same with the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. We'll flip ahead to third line. Nothing going on there either. So we'll keep you posted with weather and traffic right through the morning. Right now, let's check the news.
Thanks very much, Brian. Well, Hamilton police have now identified the man killed early Sunday at a party in Flamborough. They say 45-year-old Tobena Obiaga of Halton Region had no involvement with police before he died. They also say there's no indication that he had anything to do with the issues that started the deadly sequence of events. The crime scene reaches from the party house onto Highway 6 into a gas station down the highway. Investigators say it started when a woman was injured in an assault in a house during a large party with 60 to 100 people from the Toronto area there. But they can't say what started the argument.
We do not know that. To be quite honest with you, we have lack of cooperation from a number of people. We're trying to encourage people to come forward and tell us. The best we know now is that there were a group of people inside the house that started a disturbance. That disturbance then carried back out down the laneway and onto the road.
Police say Obiaga may have been getting into his car, which was parked on Highway 6, when he was shot. A man and a woman were shot at a gas station by what's believed to be the same person or people. They were treated in hospital and have been released. As for suspects, the only description so far is of a car that's a dark gray sedan. Police say they're trying to figure out if Obiaga was the intended target or whether there was a misidentification.
A second person's been arrested after a shooting in Hamilton last November. A 22-year-old man was left with what police describe as life-altering injuries after he was shot several times. It happened in a plaza parking lot on Queenston Road near Nash Road. During the investigation into that attempted murder, police uncovered evidence of a conspiracy to kill another person and arrested a Hamilton man. Now, a 27-year-old from Niagara Falls, Michael Francis, has been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Detectives are trying to identify other people in the murder plot.
Over the Canada Day long weekend, Niagara police responded to more than 30 calls at Sherkston Shores resort in Port Colborne. They ranged from fights to reports of a sexual assault. There were even reports involving bear spray and a gun. Now, there were as many as 30,000 people there, prompting police to deploy their public order unit, and they called for backup. Police have not released details of any charges being laid, but they have said that their investigation is ongoing.
The Hamilton-Burlington SPCA, along with Hamilton Police, have a message for the public this morning. They're reminding you not to leave your animals in your car this summer, as it can be deadly for them. Sean Cowan is live at the SPCA on the Hamilton Mountain with more. Hi, Sean.
Good morning, Louis. Well, it is going to be a warm day out today, but I'm told that it doesn't necessarily have to be hot outside for a vehicle to get warm inside. So that is really the message today. Michelle is with the Hamilton-Burlington SPCA, and it's unfortunate that we have to get this message out there, right?
It is unfortunate still. We just really want to remind our community members that there is no reason to be leaving your dog in a car. Even on what feels like a relatively mild day, that temperature in the car gets really hot really fast.
Are we seeing it a lot? Are people leaving their animals in the cars?
Unfortunately, they still are. People think they're just going to be a minute. They're just going to run into the store. They're just going to run one quick errand. But the reality is it's never just a minute.
And Indy with Hamilton Police, if people see an animal in the car, should they call 911? Do they call the SPCA? What should people do?
Now, unfortunately, we do still get calls for this. As of January 2023 to date, we've received 9 calls, and in those 9 calls, we were able to lay 4 charges. Now, if an individual is to come across a vehicle or a pet in a parking lot, please don't enter the vehicle. Take some steps, go into the mall or grocery store, wherever it may be, announce it over the PA system, see if you can locate the individual. Now, if you can't, call 911, and we will arrive, and we'll take the steps necessary to assist the pet that's been left in the vehicle.
And you were saying the charges could be pretty hefty, too. Were you saying $25,000 around there, possibly?
Yes. 4 years ago, a Pet Safety Act came into play. Now that's paused. The Provincial Animal Welfare's Services Act, and it gave some teeth to the Hamilton police services across Ontario, which allows us access into vehicles. Yeah, there are hefty fines. It could be a minimum of $25,000, and it can reach a maximum of $75,000.
All right. Thank you, Indy from the Hamilton Police, and Michelle from the Hamilton-Burlington SPCA. So an important message here this morning. They're reminding you, don't leave your pet in a car because it could heat up pretty fast. Annette, I will send it back inside to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Still with pets, this must have been quite the highway rescue. OPP officers have rescued a dog off the QEW in Oakville. They posted this photo on X of the dog that they enticed off the eastbound QEW at 3rd Line. They lured her with treats into a cruiser. The dog is taken into the care of Oakville's Animal Control. A reminder that one of the Welland Canal bridges in St. Catharines is going to be temporarily shut down today. The work on the Glendale Avenue Bridge is similar to preventative maintenance that was done there in January. The bridge is going to be closed to both vehicles and pedestrians from 9 this morning until 4 this afternoon. And expect huge traffic tie-ups if you're traveling in or around Caledonia today, because the Argyle Street Bridge over the Grand River is being closed for inspection. The bridge will be shut down to vehicle traffic in both directions from 8 this morning to 6 at night today through Friday. Pedestrians will still be able to cross, but drivers are being asked to use the Highway 6 bypass instead.
All right, Sportsline, and let's start with baseball, where the Blue Jays finally found that offensive spark that they were looking for.
23 years of age. Springer gets into it, and it is gone.
George Springer's 9th home run of the season put the Blue Jays up big early. They would eventually lead 7-0 at one point. However, the Astros hung around and made it a 1-run game with the tying run on board in the bottom of the 9th. But Chad Green will get Jose Altuve to fly out to end it, as Toronto just barely hangs on to beat Houston. The 4-game series continues tonight when they send Yusei Kikuchi to the mound. First pitch 7:07. Let's check in on those darn Yankees.
Drill deep to left field. See ya. A bullet home Judge. The Yankees have pulled to within one.
The Yankees superstar Aaron Judge hit his league-leading 32nd home run of the season, but it wasn't enough as the Reds beat New York 6-5. Now, Judge is currently on pace to break his own American League home run record of 62 that he set back in 2022. The Yankees captain also leads the majors in batting average, home runs, and RBIs, although it's early. Now, he could be the first Triple Crown winner since Miguel Cabrera in 2012. Let's switch gears to soccer, but before we get to the Euros, some unfortunate news from the Canadian men's team. Winger Tajon Buchanan is scheduled to undergo surgery Wednesday after breaking his tibia in practice ahead of Canada's Copa America quarterfinal against Venezuela. Canada Soccer said the Inter Milan attacker sustained an injury to his lower leg during training Tuesday in nearby Fort Worth. A training session was canceled after Buchanan was taken away in an ambulance. Canada Soccer said in a short statement, Buchanan was taken for further evaluation and treatment, and a spokesman later confirmed that the surgery was scheduled to repair a broken tibia. Canada and Venezuela battle Friday at NRG Stadium in Houston. Meanwhile, checking in on the Euros yesterday, wrapping up the round of 16 where the Netherlands had no problem. They beat Romania 3-0. Elsewhere, Turkey beat Austria 2-1. So that means we are now down to the final 8. No games today, no games tomorrow ahead of the quarterfinals this weekend. Spain plays Germany and Portugal takes on France on Friday. Then on Saturday, it's England and Switzerland before the Netherlands take on Turkey. St. Catharines native Mo Ahmed will look to make it medals in back-to-back Olympic Games after being named to the Canadian athletic team. It also features Andre DeGrasse, which will be heading to Paris. Ahmed won the silver medal in the 5,000-meter event in Tokyo in 2021. The 31-year-old considered one of the best long-distance runners in Canadian history, with appearances in 4 Olympic Games and medals in World Championships and Commonwealth Games. And the WNBA has announced rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will be joining the 2024 All-Star team. Clark, a recent first-round pick for the Indiana Fever, will now play alongside Reese, who plays for the Chicago Sky. This is the first time since 2014 2 rookies were named to the All-Star in the same season. Team WNBA will take on the Team USA Women's Basketball National Team in Phoenix on July 20th. And this is the second time the All-Star Game will feature the USA Basketball Team versus Team WNBA format.
All right, 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, the 3rd of July here. We have a fairly sunny start. Yep, the sun's been up for a bit. Looking at traffic, first of all, 403 Waterdown Road, nothing there. It's very light, even in both directions so far this morning. We'll start in St. Catharines and then come around the rest of the horseshoe. Look at the sunshine here. QEW Highway 405, and of course the left lane continues to be blocked from the QEW to the 405. Middle Road, Stony Creek, nothing there. We'll flip ahead to the junction right around the 403 and Brant Street. That's doing fine. Same with the Ford plant, and pretty much the same thing as you head through Mississauga. That's the Dixie Road camera. That looks good. Temperature has just jumped up by a degree. We were 19. We're now sitting at 20 so far this morning. Winds are light from the south. Relative humidity 77%. And we do now have a mainly sunny start to the day. Ridge of high pressure, and while it's been sliding slowly away from us off to the east coast now, and what is incoming is that low pressure system. Now, the warm air is pushed in. Of course, you can see the warm front, the red line, that's the leading edge of warmer air, is to the north. Leading edge of cooler air is going to drop its way across us later on today. Give us that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm later today. Fog tonight, fairly clear skies, and then tomorrow pretty much the same thing. We'll start off with some sun, then we'll see some clouds, chance of showers later in the day. Today, 26 for the Falls, a little cooler there, but 29 degrees today. So we got to 24 yesterday, so a lot warmer today with a humidex of 37, and it's going to be a sticky day today with that humidity. Tonight, temperature falls to, well, 18 to 19 degrees. The skies will start to clear, but then the fog patches are going to develop overnight. Humidity will stay fairly high. Tomorrow, 23 for the Falls, but once again, anywhere 29 degrees tomorrow. Humidex won't be quite as high, like today, 37. Tomorrow should be about 34, and once again, same scenario. Sun will start and then chance of showers, thunderstorms later. But stepping out the door this morning, it is mostly sunny. The winds are light and the temperature right now is, we'll call it warm. We're at 20 degrees so far. We'll look at the long range forecast coming up. Annette, Louie.
Okay, let's look at the forecast for Chit Chat right now with Emily. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Could you imagine Hamilton Transit with googly eyes? Like picture the HSC, what is it?
HSR.
HSR, thank you. Coming down the road with massive googly eyes on the front.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like you're getting somewhere here.
I totally am. A city in the United States has done this, and it brings so much joy to people. We're going to take a look at that video. And Jamie Foxx has come out with a little bit more information on the health scare that he had that we talked about in great length. So we'll discuss as well.
Interesting.
Okay, coming up in business news, Bell Media has filed an injunction against Rogers. We'll tell you what that's all about coming up. In overseas trading this morning, the Canadian dollar is up 11 basis points to 73.12 cents U.S. Gold is up $21. Crude is up 21 cents to $83.02 U.S. a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, markets are up right now in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets are up in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but down in Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX climbed 78 points. The New York Stock Exchange will close early today at 1 p.m. out of the 4th of July holiday. The Dow Jones rose 162 and the NASDAQ added 149.
Well, Bell Media wants to block Rogers from airing Warner Brothers Discovery content on its TV channels for 2 years. It's set to start in January when Bell will acquire the Canadian rights to the programming. Bell parent company BCE wants an injunction saying a licensing deal recently announced between Warner Brothers and Rogers breaches non-competition provisions. Last month, Rogers announced multi-year deals with Warner Brothers Discovery and NBC Universal for their lifestyle and entertainment brands in Canada. That deal includes several TV channels to which Bell previously owned the Canadian programming rights. Channels like Discovery Channel Canada, Discovery Velocity, Discovery Science, and Animal Planet.
The head of the Business Council of Canada's Washington office calls Canada's plan to tax digital services from the U.S., quote, kicking at a hornet's nest. He says the timing of a digital tax is problematic with a looming review of the Canada-United States-Mexico Trade Pact in 2026. Parliament approved the government's plan to add a 3% levy on foreign tech giants that generate revenue from Canadian users. The Office of the United States Trade Representative says it will do what's necessary, to halt the tax.
Most of the auto dealerships impacted by a nearly 2-week-long software blackout are now back online. A blackout knocked out almost 15,000 dealerships in Canada and the U.S. after 2 cyber incidents targeting software company CDK Global. The hack brought orders, sales, and trackings to a standstill at dealerships that rely on that software. But after several announcements and false starts, the company says operations are phasing back in ahead of schedule. Analysts say the dealerships could have lost millions of dollars more if the blackout had gone a full 3 weeks.
Canadian dairy cooperative Agropur says it's been hit by a cyber incident. The dairy processor says the incident was limited and happened within the last few days. A spokesperson says the affected people have been notified and steps have been taken to minimize the effects of the incident. Agropur says it's working with external cybersecurity experts to investigate and is in contact with law enforcement.
Taking a quick break right now. Brian's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. It's a hot one.
All right, it's Wednesday morning. It is 6:24. There we go on the button. There we go. Okay. All right, let's check what's happening on the roads this morning. We do have lots of sunshine, so that'll be in your eyes. QEW, Highway 406 and St. Catharines, nothing to see. Getting a little slower now. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge usually happens about this time of the morning. Nothing at Third Line. Pretty well easy going as you go through Sheraton, heading toward Mississauga Road, and we'll dip into the 403 briefly. Not as much sunshine here as in Niagara, there, but there's no problems on the roads. Now look at the temperatures we have already here this morning. It's warm to start the day. 19 Grimsby, but 20 for Hamilton, Mississauga, and for Toronto as well. Seasonal temperatures, we always talk about those. 26 for the daytime high. We didn't quite get there yesterday. 24, humidex of 28 yesterday, and that's the overnight low of 15. Those are our sun times for the day and our records for today. And yeah, it's going to get a little unsettled a little later on. Still keeping our eye on Hurricane Beryl. Now, Hurricane Beryl has dipped in a category, now a Category 4 storm. Winds around 230 kilometers an hour, going right toward Kingston, Jamaica later on today, across the Cayman Islands and heading for the Yucatan Peninsula. It's going to be dipping in intensity to, it looks like, a Category 2 in the next few days. Here's a look at our long-range forecast. Today, 29, feeling like 37. Going to be a sticky one with that chance of showers, thunderstorms. 19 tonight, fog will develop. Tomorrow again, 29. Humidex 34 tomorrow, but same scenario, looking for sun to start and then chance of showers, thunderstorms later. Cloudy 26 Saturday, chance of a shower on, Friday will be cloudy. Saturday, chance of a shower in 26, and then sun-cloud mix Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday. That's your forecast. Annette, Louie.
Okay, the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery has purchased an historic photo.
It paid $456,000 for a picture of former First Lady Dolly Madison. Historians think it was taken in 1846, nearly 30 years after her husband James Madison's presidency ended. And that would put her in her late 70s at the time it was taken. It's the first known photograph of a First Lady. Madison is credited with creating the role of First Lady as it is known today. That is an expensive photo, $456,000. And
U.S.
Yeah. Very regal looking though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder where they're going to display that though.
Yeah, do you hang it on the wall going up your stairs?
It doesn't look that big though, even, right? Like, yeah, so.
Carry it in your wallet, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
You want to see something cool?
Brian has a picture-perfect forecast coming up.